This is the Lekker Rugby Pod, only on Megaphone Rugby.
Welcome back to the Lekker Rugby Pod, London edition. Yes, I like saying that. That's such a good thing. Harry, fresh off the plane, straight to the captain's run, with your yellow cap on, in the rain, as we can expect from London. How's it going, man?
How's it, man? Absolutely pouring down. Then it's drizzling. Then it's spitting rain. Then it goes back to pouring. For the most part, though, nice. And we were complaining about it walking onto the pitch. You go from the hotel and you walk about 50 meters and you're actually at the practice pitch. We were complaining about it. Then we saw a bunch of Ooms and Tanis playing tennis, and they weren't complaining at all. So then we stopped. We shut up about that and tried to act tough. Absolutely fun. So you just asked me what you want to know about Captain's Run, and I can tell you an abundance. What do you want to know?
Well, I want to know everything. Firstly, starting off, what does the body language look like? Or what can we expect tomorrow? What did you notice that they were practicing there? Or they were just going through the motions? What's up?
Extremely happy team. Very loose. A lot of games with each other. A lot of fun games. Games that had nothing to do with rugby in the beginning. Just quick hands, quick hands, quick hands. Almost like you're playing soccer with a rugby ball. But the clicks of yesteryear, they're gone. People just are mixing and mingling. If there's a young guy, maybe he doesn't have as many, great friends. They're working him in. There's a lot of horseplay. There's a lot of fun, just messing around. First thing. Second thing, Rasi, he likes to be by himself. He will do kicks from the corner. He sits on a chair, watches everything. Loves to come talk to guys like us, but he's not talking that much with the coaches and the players. It's almost like he's letting them have autonomy, and practice is being run by a guy like Felix and Stick, and lets them go. But he's studying everything. I think what he's studying is the energy levels. Second thing is, they really do a lot of gaming inside. So apparently earlier in the week, they had invented a game where you had sort of 8 straight scrums. So Don Human gets his scrums in, but then you play on from that. And if there's a knock-on, you scrum again. If there's a steal, you get the steal. And this is where Jaco Piper being there actually helps. So you have sort of a built-in referee. Today, the head of referees, Joël Juge, of the fame of when Rusty was punished. He was there talking to Rusty on the side and discussing things, probably priming, this play, that play. You ask what they're going to do. I saw about 1,500 kicks. It's windy. It's not just rainy. So until the Pumas can solve the high kick, I suppose we're going to kick and make them prove it. The chase off the kick was set up with 3 to 4 players. There was a drill where the whole team was chasing. So the idea of chase and making sure chase is important. I'm not betraying any secrets here. It's clear that 40 kicks in Durban, up from whatever it was, 32 kicks in New Zealand. It's a kick space attack. Tony believes in finding kick space. And so it was never about chucking the ball like in Ellis Park to Suali. That was never part of the drill. Other thing I saw is the constant action. There's not any break in the hour of Captain's Run. A lot of Captain's Runs are pretty sedate. Teams almost ceremonial, sort of a walkthrough. This was full-blown, high pace, and people getting a sweat, even in the cold. People that stood out to me, Damian Willemse just looks like his confidence is sky high. He could catch every kick in the rain. He was putting it on a dime right next to the tent where Motts was and Matt Pierce were. He was dropping it just inside that, like clockwork, and never even came close to dropping the ball. Second person, Sacha, not only did he carry the water, big pallet of water to the Captain's Run, he also took the unused water bottles back, heavy, on his shoulders, along with the kit guy, the equipment guy. Final one off the pitch, so for all the show pony accusations, listen, man, he's putting the work in. He's acting like a rookie. There's no special airs. Everyone unfailingly polite, got to meet every single Bok. a good chat, a good shake, a good hug. Guys like Ox that I already know, it's just fun to see them loose. My final one is Sacha himself on the play. He was doing kick practice, and about 5 kicks in, I started noticing, and I told this to Motts and other people. I said he's aiming for the poles, and it's inescapable. I mean, 10 kicks in, everyone was like, "Oh, he is. He's shaving the poles. He's hitting the poles." And from 58 meters, he was definitely doing that. So that's interesting. It's like the golfers, they putt to a smaller ball on the practice green. And then when it comes time to play the real round, the hole looks huge. So it's the same. Basketball, same thing. They have a small goal, and then it looks like, you're throwing the ball into the ocean. So that was phenomenal. Mani was full of pep. He was full of energy. He was running in between all the different drills. Other guys would be walking from drill A to drill B, and Mani was going on a very quick jog. Let's see. Oh, I mean, basically, this is something that is not novel or unique, but to see Archie Sneeman live in person doing skills drills, it's like you're watching a back, except he's twice the size. His skill level and his agility for that frame is preposterous. I mean, he sticks out, not just because he's bigger, taller, but because he's big, tall, and not clumsy. And that was a treat for the eyes, just to see that large a human running like a gazelle.
I wanted to ask you, being the captain's run in the last game, basically, before the end of Europe in about 3 or 4 weeks, was everybody there, the whole squad, or was only the team that was selected, the 23 men, or who was there at the captain's run?
No, everyone was there. Andre Pollard was there, kicking right next to Sacha, in a very good mood. Malcolm Marks, though, was saying to us that he is really happy that there's going to be a bit of a break. I mean, just the number of wounds, scars, cuts all over his legs, battle scars, it's war. And so Bongi comes in and he's just fresh, right? He looks pristine. So, you hope that maybe he gets a good run tomorrow. I was actually thinking of Bongi with that pent-up aggression, being on the sidelines for so long. There's going to be steam coming out of his ears when he runs on. But that's good news, I think, for Malcolm to have someone trusted, experienced, ready to go on. In general, though, I'd say the abiding overall take that I can give you and the viewers is happy squad, loose, really ready to play, wanting to play, embracing the weather, embracing these lovely surroundings right on the River Thames. And I would say, if I'm reading body energy correctly, it's going to be a lekker day tomorrow.
When school breaks, the day before school breaks, everybody's sort of on edge. I can't wait for those doors to open and run out and go have a holiday. Is there a similar kind of an atmosphere there, or what are you experiencing?
I wondered, but I didn't see that. And maybe it's because it's on the road. So maybe that same syndrome would be more like if we're playing in Joburg at Loftus, and then everyone's kind of going to skedaddle out and go. Since they're on tour anyway, and they're here, people prolonged it. I saw several players staying longer than they had to, Sacha being one of them, just getting some more reps in, talking about the ball, talking about the dimples on the ball being different. It's a Gilbert tomorrow instead of a Rhino.
I was about to ask you.
There's a whole lot of discussion about that. The Rhino is more grippy, so maybe it's better for control, but it's not good for distance. I saw Sacha bang one over from 58 on a wet field, a wet sea level, and he had plenty to spare. So I don't know if you take 5 away from Sacha, maybe it doesn't matter. But I did see what they mean, which is that the Rhino is super easy to catch from prior, and then the Gilbert's more the classic ball, which can be a little bit greasy. I think it's like one of those things where the team has become well meshed. It's been picked probably not just from playing skills, but from people skills. And unless everyone's a really good actor, and I had a really good shot at it, and I'm pretty good at analyzing this kind of stuff, they seem very happy with each other. Coaches, Don Human is just a ball of fire, Mr. Personable. He's walking around, hugging everyone, having a good time. Stick, got time for everyone. Technical questions. The ones that are tough and all business that don't want to talk very much. Felix, Jerry. Tony's a funny character. Tony Brown is almost like mumbling, a bit sheepish, maybe a bit shy almost. And just kind of a likable fella. He's not carrying himself in any kind of arrogant way. And then Dwayne Vermeulen has really improved his ball skills. He literally spends most of practice doing juggling, dribbling, soccer skills with a rugby ball. Actually, people have said this is nothing novel, but he looks like he's ready to play. Dwayne, if you put Dwayne on the field tomorrow, I think his muscle memory would keep him safe.
I had an interesting story yesterday about the way the Springboks train. Mondays they do something, Tuesdays they do attack, and Wednesdays they do defense. And some of the coaches wanted to change it around, and Russ said, no, you do defense last because that's the best thing you most remember, because defense still matters the most. And what was interesting, I'm hearing this from the inside, is the atmosphere on the bus on the way to the defense training session. Very quiet, very respectful. They all shit scared, part of my language, of Tony Brown, apparently. He's quite a tough guy. He doesn't take any nonsense or any prisoners. And that was an interesting thing for me to hear. Did you pick that up as well?
What I picked up, I didn't pick that up from Tony today. What I picked up in general was that the players respond to the coaches immediately. No one has to say the second thing. If you're a parent, you know what I mean. It's time to go to bed. You don't want to say it again. And a happy house is where everyone does it the first time, right? So maybe they are happy because everyone knows their roles and no one's pushing against it. There's no rebels. There's whatever that might have been. I'm not saying there was ever that, but if it was, it's gone now. There's a complete acceptance of the hierarchy of who's in charge of what. Felix comes out first, sort of looks at the whole thing. Maybe that's his role, is the generalist. So you have a doctor that does this, a doctor does that, but do you have one doctor that knows how the whole picture fits together? Maybe that's Felix. And then you have people that are highly technical. Obviously, Don would be chief among them, right? He's the scrum doctor, the scrum guru, and he also, he's involved in lineouts. So the overall reaction to me, perception was that everyone is absolutely knowledgeable about their lane, and they stay in their lane, and it's functional, it's functioning, it's crisp, but with this overarching happiness, where I didn't feel like there was bullying going on, or ostracized, or cliques, or this guy. It felt like everyone could run into each other and have a good time, have a nice jolt. The other thing is these games they play, they integrate the backs and the forwards more. Maybe you look at a lot of captains' runs from 5 years ago. There was the forwards, and there was the backs, and there was no mixing. This is much more integrated. I don't know who that comes from, but I mean it mirrors how the Boks are playing right now.
I want to throw you a bit of a curveball. When I spoke to CJ van der Linde earlier this week, and Jesse Crew played for him at Cannon Eagles, is he often pulled Jesse into the forwards training sessions as a 6. That's an interesting one, don't you think?
Hey, he looks like he could handle that. There's people that are impressive on TV. There's people that are impressive in real life, and then there's people when they walk by you, they're just made of different stuff, different material. That's Jesse. It just looks like there's hard edges everywhere. There was a moment in time where there was Jesse and Vilko Low in the same spot. I made a video. I'll send it to everyone. And you go, those two guys never missed leg day. That was a leg picture. They were just both popping, different parts of their legs. Look, I think it's interesting to see the vibes there as well. Jesse is such a outgoing person, such a talkative guy. And he's one of those people that will literally walk by and talk to every single person, no matter where they are in the org chart, And I like that. I like someone who's the same with everyone. He's not just seeking out, the most powerful.
Yeah, I was asking that question because Jesse is the utility on the bench, basically. Maybe he's another hybrid in the making. You never know. One last question, in the weather there, I'm going to let you go before you get completely wet. But Felipe Gonteboni said this week that Springboks were lucky that they were playing in South Africa last week in front of the home crowd. Everything. He's expecting a different game this week. What are you seeing? The weather and the conditions and the crowd, whatever. What are you expecting?
I mean, this is going to be Twickenham. The amount of people that live in Southwest London in particular, but in London, Greater London, and in the Midlands, and in a 1 hour, 2 hour train ride from here that are actually South African is immense. And they come out in droves. Everyone and their uncle and their dog and their best mate are coming. I think that this was a wise move for Argentina for the money, but there's no way that this shapes as a home game for Argentina feel, which is what it is technically, is the first point. The second point is there's a buzz. And the buzz really has nothing to do with the rugby championship as a whole or the lifting the trophy. It's almost like people are taking that as a very likely occurrence. It's more about the way the Springboks are playing right now, win or lose, that it is have a go, young players, a generational shift. So it's very marketable. The things people used to say about the All Blacks, now they're saying about the Springboks. People that are not South African or Argentinian are wanting to go to the game to see the magic show, the magicians.
And that's like a thing they picked the same side as the last three. This is the third weekend in a row they're picking the same side, so that should be exciting. I envy you, Harry. I don't envy you getting that wet, I must be honest, but I would love to be there with you. So enjoy it, you and you together. Have a good one. Do an instant reaction together tomorrow night. That would be like it. That'd be interesting. Give it your best shot, man. I'm looking forward to it.
This is the Lekker Rugby Pod, only on Megaphone Rugby.